Hi, so I'm going to be showing some examples to you from teaching Utah studies that I use in my own class to help you along this journey of creating inquiry and project-based lessons. So first, with the brainstorming step, I always start off with the core. So the Utah studies core, I is you want to probably break that out and look and see, okay, what are some things that I can do to teach project-based or inquiry-based lessons. I also kind of look and see, okay, what areas in my core can I maybe make a little bit more engaging for students, or maybe even more engaging for myself to teach as well. So two of the core standards that I'm going to be covering with my project is standard 3.1 that talks about principles in the Utah Constitution, and 3.3 and 3.4, which talk about the progressive era and the labor movement. So I'm going to start off with project base, and I'll be sharing these folders with you as well. And in the civics voter folder, you'll see this will be my project base, and I actually did this with a group of teachers in a civics academy that I did over one summer. So there's like 4 of us that were coming up with these ideas. You want to read this first because this breaks down the project and how we created it and the steps. We also got a grant to help cover the cost of some things, but you can still do the project without the grant. You don't need the money to do the things. We just got money to help us with a couple of things. So, but I still included that if you would like to apply for a grant too. We had 2 DBQs that we had the students do before we had them start the project. So looking at voter turnout, because the project was them trying to answer the question, how can I increase voter turnout in my community? And so we had some DBQs. We had some lessons leading up before their project so that they would know kind of what things to look for as well. This is where we have the things to do with the project proposal, and the survey that they had to fill out about voters in their community. These are some other resources for you. This is a mock election that we did, and I gave you some examples of student projects. My students actually went and presented to the Bluffdale City Council, and I included a video recording for that in there. So the brainstorming process is really in this first one where we went through and typed up and kind of outlined what did we want to accomplish and what were our goals. Now for the other, for my inquiry-based lesson, I'm going to go back here and show you. We did the Joe Hill trial, and I actually did this with my partner teacher at my school who also teaches Utah studies. So again, collaboration is so helpful. Working with someone else, if you want to team up with somebody else in the class, or if you have another teacher at your school that you can work with, is always great. And so with the Joe Hill project, we were looking at, okay, how can we make progressive era movement and like labor movement kind of more engaging for students? And Joe Hill was somebody who came up on our radar through the Fall Utah Social Studies Conference. And so there's a great documentary about him. It's quite long. I wouldn't show the whole thing, but maybe clips. There's the Joe Hill story, if you're not familiar with it, to go through and read that. But what we decided to do first was to find resources. So we just had these 2 documents where we were trying to find as many resources that we could about Joe Hill to see what kind of lesson we could create. And so that's how our brainstorming kind of took place. It was just gathering resources. Also, I am very much a pen and paper person as well. So I actually have like notebooks with different resources lined out to kind of go through things. And you can see I have like my to-do list, things crossed out. So you can also do it on paper as well and kind of brainstorm and decide where do you want to go? Where do you want your students to go? And following those core standards. So those are just some ideas, and good luck with your brainstorm.